Hello, this is Natalie Baumgartner. I'm an extension specialist here at UT, and this is part 2 of our home strawberry introduction. We're doing some planting here, but before we plant, of course, we're going to need to select our site. And there are a couple things to keep in mind. What do strawberries love? They love good drainage. And so if you're planting in a regular in-ground garden bed, then you're going to want to make sure that's very well drained. Raised beds work well, and we also have a great berm that we're planting into here. So we have some nice sandy, loose, friable soil. It's going to be a great spot for strawberries. The other thing to keep in mind is that we don't want strawberries to follow some of our garden crops. So we'd like a new site or a place that hasn't been in peppers or tomatoes or something that might be able to leave soil-borne diseases that could infect our strawberries. If we're going to be planting a plug, which is very much like a garden transplant, we're going to want to dig a hole. We have nice loose soil to work in here. We're going to make sure that we expose a few of these young roots to get them growing off well. We're going to cover our plant to just about where it was in the plug tray. We do want to cover up that media so that it doesn't dry out, and we're going to put it right in the middle of that crown. Now, when we're planting bare root plants, the depth is really critical, and we want for it to be right here in the center of this crown. If it's too shallow, our little plant will be sticking up out of the ground. If it's too deep, we can actually cover up this compressed stem, which is a crown, for strawberries, and we can actually really reduce that plant's growth or even its survival. When we plant them in the soil, now this one's been soaking in water so that its roots didn't dry out, really important for bare root plants. What we're going to want is to dig a hole, and we have a little bit of soil here that we can then gently place around the roots. We want to spread out those roots. We don't want them all tightly together. We want them to be nicely underneath the plant and spread out well. Then we're going to cover it up, and we're going to once again place soil right there to the center of the crown. Then we're going to water these in well. If we didn't put on a pre-plant fertilizer, we could do a soluble fertilizer. So we want to make sure that we pay good attention to moisture, nutrition, planting depth, and your strawberries are off to a great start.